Yeah. So I'll now introduce Mr. Hassan Mohammad, who is a Deputy Director of Health Protection Agency, Ministry of Health, and heads both NCT division there and the National Tobacco Control Program. He is a passionate tobacco control advocate and known nationally as well as internationally in tobacco. And he started tobacco way back in 2001 when many countries have not even ratified, when FCTC was not there and there was no ratifications of that, the FCTC. And from 2007 onwards, he represented Maldives in most of the global tobacco control forums and platforms. In addition, he represents Maldives as WHO and other multilateral initiatives in prevention and control of national non-communicable diseases. He is also a member of Regional Technical Advisory Group on NCDs in Southeast Asia region. So over to Mr. Hassan Mohammad for the virtual session.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, very clearly.
Dr. Girl, how are you? And thank you very much, first of all, for the invitation. And it's good to be with friends in tobacco control from the region and particularly from India. I happen to know most of you, and let's get started. So, may I continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so can I move these slides myself?
Yes, sir. You have to. Yes, sir. You have to do that.
Okay, yeah, it's working. Thank you very much. So my focus is on this topic of emerging challenges and opportunities. I'd like to give a country perspective as well as an international perspective. So in the during COVID and aftermath of COVID, so going on to the theme of this year's World No Tobacco Day, which links to industry interference and youth. The industry would continue with new technologies, new products. So this would continue to be our main challenge. But they would still play in there from their old playbook, which of course we all know. These are proven to derail the tobacco control efforts by the government. Government tobacco control interventions are usually reactive. We have been reacting to the industry. So, but COVID-19, what it might do is it would carve out a totally new landscape, both for tobacco control and tobacco promotion. So these are roles for both industry and the government. So it's end of the day, who takes the first steps. So we should not let the tobacco industry may be the first mover and take the first mover advantage. In terms of specific challenges, I would say, so like I said, they would be hijacking our policy and research agenda with their funds and create doubt on proven science and effectiveness of tobacco control measures currently in our countries. With every measure they would try to create, this would continue. And what we are seeing, even from the Maldives perspective, is that they are funding even private institutions, research groups, through the front groups like Foundation for Smoke-Free World, led by, of course, Big Tobacco, we all know. And they would infiltrate research institutions and think tanks, and also get renowned tobacco control advocates on their side to research for them. But in disguise. We already know some of our very close colleagues are working for tobacco control. The industry would continue to divide the international public opinion on these new products, the arguments particularly on the issue of harm reduction, which they have succeeded. They have already divided the scientific community. They would continue to exploit gaps in enforcement during the COVID emergency because governments have other priorities during this emergency. And still, many countries also do not have guidelines under Article 3.5. So industry can actually policy.
I think we have lost connection from Mr. Mohammed. So I request our chair to please